Hey guys, what's up? As the video title suggests, we're going to be talking about the R9 Fury X today. AMD's flagship GPU a good while ago, part of the Fiji architecture, sporting a amazing 4 gigabytes of HBM memory. But hold on. Here we go. Yeah. Don't let its small card size confuse you, or whatever distract you, from its just giant form factor. This is one of the biggest graphics cards I've ever had, mostly because it literally always comes with an AIO coming out the back. Air cooling technology, I don't say wasn't exactly good enough? I don't know, but this card ran so hot that they had to include an integrated all-in-one liquid cooler with it. This card is pretty great. It does sport the 4 gigabytes of HBM memory, which we might find out could chug a little bit, although it is high bandwidth memory with that 4096-bit bus, 4096-bit memory bus, which is insane. Modern, you get like 512-bit or whatever. I think it's 4096. It's something high like that. Even with that insane memory speed and stuff like that, we still might see it chugging along because some games, especially one that we're going to test, just like to eat that graphics memory. But besides that, this card, it's one of my favorites. It's just so, I'm trying to hold it. It's really awkward to hold. So, this is one of my favorite graphics cards, and immediately when I learned that it existed, I ventured out to get one. Now, when I first learned they existed, they were going for over $200 on eBay every time. But I waited a couple weeks, or actually a couple months, and I got it for about $80. But, yeah, it did come with a little bit of damage. Now, before this video starts and we do the testing, I will say I have confirmed with someone else who does own an R9 Fury X. No, he doesn't live close, so I can't do, like, crossfire with them. But I have confirmed that this has not had any effect on thermals or performance, which is surprising, considering, just look at that. That's a lot of bent fins. But I was able to get a partial refund, so I ended up paying $60, and he said it was damaged. The seller said it was damaged in shipping. So I did file a claim and got $50 back from USPS. So realistically, I paid $10 for the working R9 Fury X. But enough of my stupid voice, who finally learned how to use a lavalier. Finally. I know I said that twice, but to emphasize the finally, as I paid so much money. Whatever. Besides the point, let's put this in our PC and see how it performs. Despite the R9 Fury X's relatively small size compared to, say something like a Vega 64, the install process is nothing but challenging. So, basically, it's simple. Well, first of all, like any GPU, I know you guys can't see, but I don't have a cameraman still because it's 1 a.m. And I've got about 4 videos to film, so that's why the desk was unusable. So, you've got to kind of rest your AIO, and just hope it doesn't fall off the desk, while you haphazardly screw in the card itself. That's the thing. As you saw, I even saw that by the Vega 64. I'm an extremely big fan of AIO graphics cards. Now, you may think because this is a small card, again, I will bring that up again because I can. It does not fit in a lot of cases because the cables are pretty rigid, or whatever. This monitor might be in the way. I know my desk is messy, don't worry about it. The cables are kind of rigid, and a lot of glass just won't go on. So you're kind of forcing it in, you're pushing in the, it is a little obnoxious, but this case does fit nicely, and the good thing is I don't keep glass in this case because this is my test bench, as I can't afford a real one. Well, actually, I don't really see it as justifiable to buy one. Though enough about me, more about this card. So basically, I'm just screwing the AIO to the top. Now, one thing to note, if you're looking at this video, maybe considering buying an R9 Fury X, there's actually a video. This video concept idea was recommended by one of my subs who wanted to buy one, maybe. And one thing to note when buying this card is that, oh yeah, so if you were considering buying this card, there is something very important to note about radiator placement. Now, there's all those videos about AIOs for CPUs, the best place is on the front, or it's on the top, or the bottom. Well, this actually it kind of has the same concept, but the answer is pretty straightforward. You want ideally, I should say. Now, I've had it on the bottom, it's been fine, but ideally, you want the radiator on top, or at least above where the card is, to prevent any air bubbles from getting in the card's pump. It doesn't have a pump, it's an AIO unit, and if air bubbles get in, you're going to do some, shaking around the card and hope you don't overheat or anything. Because don't forget, if air bubbles get in your pump and it stops pumping water, you're going to overheat pretty quick. And I've gotten a Ryzen 3600 to 110 degrees with my AIO not working. So you definitely don't want that happening with your R9 Fury X. And that thing pumps out a lot of heat. That's why it's got an AIO. So just be wary of that. Make sure you hopefully have a good amount of clearance on the top or even above on the front. Even if you have to put it on the ground, it's not terrible, but it is just you taking more of a little bit of a risk. At least from what I've read on Reddit, which, if you know, is not the greatest place, but it's also, from personal experience. But it is pretty easy to mount, but keep in mind, this is one of the thickest radiators I've ever seen in my life. It does come very far down, almost down to the motherboard, and this is a case meant for water cooling. So, that's the point. Let's get into the gaming benchmarks and talk about, is the R9 Fury X good in 2020 for gaming? Let's do that. Yeah, I realized after taking my lab off and stuff that I actually forgot to plug it in and turn it on. So it does require two 8-pin power connectors. So that is definitely something to keep in mind when installing the R9 Fury X, because that is a lot of power, and some power supplies, or even, just generally, you might not have two 8-pins already installed. You might have one 8-pin and a 6-pin if you have custom cables like this, or you might just have one of these, which work absolutely fine, the Y cables or whatever they're called, daisy chain. But it does require two 8-pin connectors. Like a lot of flagship AMD cards, they do draw a lot of power. Like I said, AAO, built in, a lot of heat. So let's turn this thing on, because I actually really want to show you. Ooh, it's loud. So yeah, you do get some water sounds, which are scary at first, but they go away once the computer fully boots up. But the look at this card is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful graphics card. I do just love the sleek red Radeon logo on top of the silver, and then of course the black just sleek card. And then you've got your AIO. I love AIOs. I have a weak spot for them. I just love them. I don't use them as much because they're very expensive, but they're just especially on graphics cards. That's the point. Let's get into the gaming now. I just want to show you how good it looks. Hey, if you don't want to watch the gameplay, I'm just going to tell you how it performed. So the 3 games that I played are PUBG, Far Cry 5, and Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the new one. So in PUBG, I saw anywhere from 70 at the lowest while parachuting to in the 60s to about 110 FPS on all medium settings. On Far Cry 5, medium settings as well, we saw anywhere from 90 to 120 FPS, and we even did the benchmark, and it was great. And Call of Duty, we did play minimum settings, so we played on the lowest possible settings, and we were getting anywhere from 100 to 144 FPS, and it was a smooth experience all around. So that's how it performs. But if you want to see the gameplay and hear me talk about playing games and play a game of Call of Duty and stuff like that, you can continue watching. But I don't want to make the video super long for people who don't want to actually watch the whole thing, but just want to know how it performs, and that's how it performed for me. So thank you for watching if you're ending here, but if you want to keep going, there are benchmarks of me playing the games, so stick around or leave. That's up to you. Whatever, I don't know. Like the video. Alright guys, our first game is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on 1080p medium. I decided on medium settings because I want to try to get a good mix of high FPS and also a decent looking game. Yes, I normally try to do competitive settings, but honestly, it should be around the same performance as just setting everything to low and then view distance to high. But that's the point. I'm going to do medium because I kind of want the game to look nice while also testing, how it performs. We're going to try this new map. I think it's garbage, but whatever. And remember, this does only have 4 gigs of VRAM, and turning up that, the quality and then the rendering in, that could start eating up that VRAM very quickly. So we want to keep that in mind when testing games like PUBG especially, and a game we're going to test in a little bit, but it's hard to record and you can kind of guess what it is already. So I'm going to do what I normally do. I'm going to play a game. I'm going to show you the best moments and give you the average FPS at the end. Alright, so in the lobby, we're getting anywhere from 70-ish to about 102, 105 max FPS. And the game doesn't look too bad. It's a decent experience. Definitely, you could tweak your settings a little more. Now, if we went all down to low, we'd probably getting a little over 100 FPS. But that's going to change when we start dropping. And, I don't know what the heck the deal is with that GPU thing on the top left, but that is definitely not a true reading. My R9 Fury X, if I am to be honest, it has a little bit of trouble getting picked up by sensors, especially MSI Afterburner, so just ignore that temperature and percentage usage. You can kind of look at the CPU and guess that the GPU is the bottleneck here, because 8%, even on an 8-core CPU, is just a little much. Little. It's tiny, I should say. Oh, I almost forgot. Our test bench today is a 9800X. So that's an Intel i7 9800X. That is an Intel Extreme Edition CPU on the X299 Tough Mark 1 from Asus. And we've got 64 gigabytes of DDR4 3000. So there will be no RAM overhead or anything like that. And then, of course, our R9 Fury X as well. We are running the game on an SSD just in case, you know. Got to make sure, even though it really doesn't matter. It's just loading a texture and stuff. That's the point. Let's hop into the game and see how it performs. Okay, so one of the best tests of a graphics card is actually jumping and looking around. You can see the textures loading in. And we did drop down to 70, 65, 63. 63 FPS was about the lowest there. Not actually half bad for a many years old graphics card. I don't know the specifics, so I'm not going to try that. I think it's like 2013, 2014. So we're getting about 100 FPS while hiding in this corner from enemies. We are not in a friendly place, but we're rocking 96 FPS. Not bad. Now there are people all around me and I am extremely scared. And just like that, I'm already bored of the game. They've ruined guns so bad in this game, but you know what? It was fine. Actually, besides the fact that this game is utter garbage now because they just keep updating it. And okay, let's not go into how bad the game is. All we know is we had a decent experience. We averaged about 90 FPS, and it was not a bad experience at all. And I think we could lower our settings. Let's just see at the menu real quick before we switch games, because I kind of want to keep this video a little bit shorter than the 980 video. That one went for a while. And if we set them to low, just, you know, we're already jumping up almost 200 FPS in the menu. Let's get these particles on screen. There's a lot of particles here. 119, you know, 121 FPS as opposed to like 90. About a 30 FPS increase. So you could expect, you're not getting 144 FPS, but you're not doing too bad. You're definitely getting above 60. So even if you're using 60 or 75 Hz display, the R9 Fury X definitely keeps it place as king in this game. I guess I'd say I'm trying to make up words, but whatever. Let's move on to our next game. Alright, our next game is a game I want to use to really test this graphics card's ability to play modern AAA games. Far Cry 5. It's a little bit older, I guess, but it is a graphics card tester for sure. But I wanted to show you guys this thing in settings. So we're doing all normal, we're doing anti-aliasing on TAA just because I don't know the difference. I mean, like, it tells me the difference, but you know, whatever, TAA. So this is funny. So look, I like games that have like the VRAM usage on the bottom. So we're using 2.61 out of 3.98 gigabytes. And if you change it, you really see it goes to 2.69. Nice. But boom. HD textures. See the tiniest change in the picture. Almost doubles the amount of VRAM usage. It really just adds 2. But still, 2 extra gigs for these HD textures. That's what I thought. So I'm going to leave that off. So I'm going to leave, just like that with quality, color, VSync is off, frame rate lock is off. And this is basically what we're doing. So we'll actually just be running the benchmark. So let me launch in the benchmark right now. And let's see how it performs in our benchmark. Oh, wow. Average FPS 88 and our lowest dip 72. Not bad. But there is one more thing I do want to try. So that's just the benchmark. Anyone can do a benchmark. I gotta go into gameplay. Because 90 FPS does seem a little high. It seems a little bit high to me. Considering I played this game on a Vega 64 and was getting 45 FPS at one point. So let me just test it real quick in game. Because you're not playing a benchmark, you're playing the game. So one sec, let me hop in the game real quick. Same settings, by the way. Oh my, wow. I know it's on medium, but like, okay. I was skeptical. Don't know why I never really liked the field of view in this game. I don't know if mine's just low, but
Oh man, I got hit in the junk again. Ouch.
this game is, let's just get 140 FPS.
Somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Oh yeah.
What the? Actually, look at this guy. You know what? This is surprisingly playable. Okay, R9 Fury X. I am You think that was smart? Alright. I am pleasantly surprised. You know, I know the R9 Fury X is a beast, but this just proves it, man. I know, like I said, okay, I'll turn it up to high. Because now this has got me intrigued. This is not scripted. It's never scripted. Anyway. High settings, and we're still at over 120 FPS.
Coming at you.
It's not bad at all. It's actually great. This is a very playable experience. For a card you could probably pick up for around $100. I would say this is not bad. Also, it just looks cool. Now I do want, okay, I have to try one more thing. This game is, you know, I know we did PUBG for a minute, but this is just, I want to try. Let's see what happens. Oh, it won't take effect. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna. Not gonna restart the game for HD textures. I'm just gonna shoot this person in the face. Gonna get me demonetized, man. Not that it matters. You didn't see that? And welcome to Far Cry. Alright, let's move on to the next game. This is surprisingly good for the R9 Fury X. So let's move on to our next game. Probably our final game. I like to do 3, sometimes 2. Alright guys, so our final game is, yes, Call of Duty. It's a very modern AAA title that just really taxes graphics cards in a different way, actually. I don't know why the render resolution is set to this. It should be set to normal. Please, thank you. Oh, finally, settings changed without... Okay, so we're doing all low. Now, the reason we're doing low settings is for some reason, I don't know if it's a bug or it's just that how this game is. It says the VRAM usage is 1668 megabytes out of 4070, you know, 4 gigs of HBM. But in game, this, I don't know what it is about some of the maps, but they destroy VRAM. On my Radeon 7 with 16 gigs of HBM2, This game has consumed as high as 13 gigabytes of VRAM. That's more than a 2080 Ti has. So, I don't know what was going on there. Then again, I was having some other problems. But I'm going to hop in and quick. I don't think there's a benchmark in this game. And if there is, I don't care. Because what you want to know is, can I hop in a game and can I play well? So I want to play a quick game of free-for-all. And I'm just going to literally just say, how it feels. We're looking for responsiveness, ability to aim, and not lagging. Ability to aim is, me. But, like, my ability to not get hindered by the graphics card. I'll be telling you if the graphics card is hindering. Now, I am doing low settings, first of all, because the VRAM is very low in this card. And that is potentially a drawback. But even the same with a card like a GTX 980, which is technically the direct competitor to this graphics card. The GTX 980, it only has 4 gigs of VRAM as well, and that's only GDDR5. Man, that's a lot of words. But basically, let's hop into the game and see how it performs. Alright, we're hopping into the game. We got a 160 FPS loading in, but it does definitely change. Now, this is a smaller map in the game, but definitely... Okay. Very responsive. 160 FPS. Now, remember, we are all on low, but honestly, when playing competitively, you're going to be playing on low settings, and again, I'm trying to save that VRAM. On some maps that have a lot of wooded areas and stuff, you will see that VRAM quickly getting eaten up. Okay, actually, now, like I said, you gotta keep in mind we're on low settings, but this is extremely responsive. I'm seeing a great FPS. I don't know, maybe I was glitching out before, but... Yeah, every time I play this game, I'm trying to keep it, my YouTube testing away from my Twitch streaming. But I absolutely despise this game. It was made so poorly. Grenades are so overpowered, and it just allows for the cheapest and most obnoxious people. Look at that. You're camping in the corner with a crossbow. The crossbow is a weapon that they added to the game for no reason. It's extremely obnoxious. Like, congrats, dude. You can camp in a corner. Crossfire? That technology's dead. Lol. Oh, there's still people here. Oh man, that guy's cheap. You know what, while we're here, let's get some Call of Duty tips and tricks going on, right? So, as you can see, they got a VTOL jet. I have a cruise missile. Ready? Watch. I don't know why everyone isn't doing this. Done. Cruise missile. Kills VTOL. Oh yeah, cool. Forgot you have a one-shot weapon. So do I. It's called skill. That's so annoying, like, too. Like, congrats, you shoot once and it kills me. There's nothing I can do to stop that. Same, I hate the guns in this game. I hate them so much. Like, even the gun I'm using is absolutely obnoxious. Got no recoil. Let's see how this. Let's see what this is. Oh, this thing's OP. Just one shots. No! I can win this! Oh! And, again, flashbangs are literally super overpowered. No, one more kill. I win. All right. If I can win with it, okay. I noticed no difference. This graphics card does amazing. Now this cool. That's right. I'm not even gonna watch you get kills. You don't deserve kills. This is MSI Afterburner, just what I used to record, or not record, but to show the temperatures and stuff. But that's not the point, guys. That's the performance of the i9 Fury X. Let me just switch to you. Where is it, man? There we go. So that's the performance of the i9 Fury X. R9 Fury X. I don't need to leave and stand up and do any more recording or anything, but that's the point. This is the video. If any of you stayed to see it, because I know I do announce the how the FPS and how it performs right before I do this, in case no one wants to watch all the testing. But tell me if you guys think I should change any of my testing methodology. Now, you're probably wondering, I think I did say on stream I might test Fortnite. I don't feel like downloading it. I just don't really want it on my computer because it sucks. Because they kind of suck at making games. But that's not the point. So, trust me though, with the way it ran Far Cry and Call of Duty, you'll be destroying, 200 plus FPS on Fortnite. Competitive settings, at least. So, don't worry about that. But that's the point. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about the R9 Fury X, one of my personal favorite graphics cards. I would like to move on next to the Vega 64s, maybe a revisit, or talking about the flagships, and then the Radeon 7s, though I am having big issues with my Radeon 7s right now. Probably drivers and stuff. That's the point. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.